today. My mic's way over here again. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Is my mic actually working? Hold on. There's my mic. There it is. So today is 7.0 Beta 1 release day, but there's some issues. There's always issues, isn't there? It looks like track is acting up. This is me trying to load. Oh, and okay. So let's go look at the tickets. Let's see. Which major release? Yeah, I got a timeout there on it. So who knows? Who knows what's happening? Hola, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás? It's the extent of my Spanish. I am very much looking forward to coming to see you in a few weeks. I think we're meeting up in Costa Rica, are we not? I don't know. How's my Spanish going? Not good. It's not going good. I need to pick up my Duolingo again and start to learn it. It's one of those things where like I do really, really well in Duolingo. I'm like, oh yeah. I know that word. I know this word. I can figure it all out. But then you put me in real life, and I'm like, ¿Dónde está la playa? Like I don't know how to say anything. I sound like an idiot. Oh yeah. So there we go. So I think so. If you're following along with what's going on with the Beta 1 release, which is supposed to be today, it looks like in the core channel in WordPress Slack. If you're not in WordPress Slack, you should go in there, and you can see the core channel. It's been delayed. The 7.0 Beta 1 release has been delayed. There's a couple of things for that, and another thing is the proposal to merge the API client into 7.0. Matt has made some comments about it being changed, and so I think we're waiting to see what. Wow, there's a lot of comments here. This is the proposal, so go and read it out. And basically, what this is meant to be is the JavaScript library associated with this. So a lot of comments here, but this is the one that Matt commented. He would like to see a better UI about connectors and things like that. Something similar to what Claude Code does, or what Claude, like the UI one does. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But what I am very happy and excited about is that we got the icon block merged, which is fantastic. So the icon block should be now part of it, which I'm very, very, very excited about. Yeah. So the icon block is a little bit bare bones. It is. You can't link anything right now, which is fine. That'll come, but maybe I can hold on. Let's see where. Let me just So let me get my term open here. Jump into the old JGoots. I'm gonna pull down the trunk. Oh, I hate how it asks me every single time for this, and it drives me nuts. And I have to do SSH add every single time. No, SSH add, and then I have to put in my really long password, which I can never type properly. Okay, 3 times the charm. Got it. Okay, so now we should have trunk, right? So, oh, what's going on here? What is this? What is all this? Oh, I know what this is. This is me. Okay. This is me experimenting with something. Let's just see. Okay, cool. So I'll show you this in a second. Oh, hey, Cross Keys, how's it going? Well, that's a big long comment. I know Blockheader is a big project, and fine if you don't know, but I'm feeling a lot of feet shuffling on editor comments, and that it's not probably going to make 7.1 release. Do you know if it's going to happen before the end of this year? No worries if this is totally out of your wheelhouse. Don't we have commenting? Stand by. Let me just stash this stuff. Include untracked, work in progress, block support. labels. Okay, so we'll do that. I'm gonna just go ahead and pull down the latest. What I got going on in here? Okay, so GST. Okay, cool. So yeah, I should be able to trim. Make sure you guys can set NVMUs, npm install. If there's anything. Oh my God, Ryan. npm install. Yeah. So yeah, there's block comments. Pix. Nope. No. Yeah. Okay, we'll start that. How do I not? I probably don't have Docker running. It's gonna yell. Oh, it's fine. God, this microphone is like literally always in my way. I can't see anything when I'm typing. I gotta do something better. I think I'm gonna get a shotgun microphone that sits over here behind the camera. And then that way this thing's not in my face. All right, let's run this again. I'm gonna get the thing going on here. I refuse to take you on a map. No, I literally don't have much to go over today. I was even debating just like not streaming because I didn't have anything. But like I said, we're gonna see how the release goes, if it goes. And in the meantime, we can look at what you're talking about here. So the editor comments, I thought that was in 6.9. Let's see. Yeah, that's taking a long time. I don't know what's going on here. So let's go Break dev, maybe we'll go WP admin. Let's see what's in here. Experiments. It might be under experiment. Of course, I don't have that. Let's see. No. Okay. It's gonna update to 6.9.1. It's funny because I was one of the triage release leads for 6.9, and I don't remember anything about what we did. Let's get into this thing. Okay, take a look at that. Inline block commenting, so it's still open. When was this created? Oh, okay. Let's get down to the bottom. After completing the chatting, I decided to avoid rush decision to defer to the next major release. Okay, so it looks like it's next major release. It's going to be 7.1. Content market might be able to leverage. Okay. Okay, so, all right, cool. So I guess there is no block. I think they called it notes, commenting, and they moved it to notes. But, oh, okay.
Oh, great.
Hey, there's Troy.
It's Troy Chaplin.
It is supposed to be release date today. That is correct. Yeah, I guess there's no block notes. Add note. Hold on. I'm gonna just see what plugins are installed here. Yes, leave the site. I'm just gonna deactivate the Gutenberg plugin. It might just be in the Gutenberg plugin, so let me just double check that. Let's see. And grab this, and grab that, and we'll do this, and we'll say boom, and add note. So you can add notes to this, it looks like. So I'm wondering what this is, inline block, and what is the usual time frame for major release? I think it's every 3 months right now. Is it 4 months? 3 major releases a year, so that's probably 4 months, depending on, yeah. So 7.0 is supposed to come out, and it's supposed to be released on April 9th on Contributor Day for WordCamp Asia. So we're in a 3 releases a year cadence right now, and that's yeah. So inline comments, yeah. I'm trying to get a client to sit on their hands and piss money down a hole on the plugin. Not piss money, okay. Yeah, so I mean, there is notes. Like, you should be able to add notes. Sorry, this is breaking. So you should be able to add a note here. Add note. I don't know where the notes come in. I can see them. Where do they? Oh, there. So there's notes here. So you should be able to do that. Now I'm wondering if this is also to do with the real-time collaboration of notes, like add comment. So it's weird. Because this is already in place. Let me try this completely random site. I want to make sure that this is. Grab this and options. Yeah, so add notes. So you can definitely add notes to blocks. It's definitely there. This is ability shoulder buttons. Yeah. So you should be able to get at it. So there are notes, right? Does this answer your question, Crosskeys? I mean, you have to be in the block editor though. So I'm assuming your client is. Oh yeah, Troy's in Make Slack. We talk on the daily, all the time. Okay, well, it looks like track might be the blocker for the release today. Oh, it's back. Okay, so we'll see. Let's check in the core Slack channel right now. Where is that? There we go. Go in the core Slack. Yeah, that would be it. So the notes are, yes, you do owe me something, Troy. Krusky's, that is exactly it. Adam Silverstein, good friend of mine, was working on the notes, and it is a comment type. So you need to turn comments on to make that work. But you can probably just disable all the other comment types, all the other comments. There we go. Yes, Troy owes me something. Troy's going to be on the stream soon. I don't remember what date we decided, but it's soon. It's going to be fun. It's the next Talk Devi to me. And I need more guests. March 12th, thank you. I need more guests. So if anyone wants to come on here and talk about whatever they're building and show it off and let me try it out, let me know, because you're more than welcome. There's not really many stipulations other than it has to be basically free. You can have a paid version, but I would like it to be something that's like the community can use immediately. And if they want to pay money to get another version, they can do that. But like when we had oh my god, Rob on with WP Rig, that was a lot of fun. That was a really cool stream. So, anyways, if you're interested, reach out to me, and we can do it. Okay, so actually, in the meantime, I guess while we wait to see if this happens. All right, I'm gonna just start closing these things. I get lost. I don't care about you. We'll see what we got here. So this is my Gutenberg. And I need to make sure oh wait, am I building? I'm not. npm run dev. Okay, so got the latest Gutenberg. I'm just gonna build that right now. This is gonna just quit Studio. So yeah, it's fine. Stop. And I have an idea for something. I could do a talk on how I make Gutenberg good by disabling roughly 80% of it. I don't think that's a talk that I. If you could put a positive spin on that, we could talk about it. I don't think that would get accepted at a WordCamp. But listen, I'm definitely interested in hearing about why you had to disable, like what you had to disable, and maybe we can be like, okay, coming up with ways that you don't need to disable it. I don't know. That would be interesting to me for sure. For sure. What is the updates here? Yeah. Plugins. Install plugins with Gutenberg. Icon block. Okay, cool. So let's check. Oh, it's still building the types. This takes forever. You just sit there and it just builds. Oh, I can make it positive. Inasmuch as Gutenberg can't decide whether it wants to be FSE or a content editor. It's both. Why not both? If you disable enough parts of it to make it one or the other, it's a clean machine. It's going to be interesting. To translate blocks later. Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, it's both, right? It's the site editor and it's the content editor. But you can turn off the site editor if you don't like it. Which I guess is what you're doing. So that's probably it. Okay, cool. Let's look at the icon block. We'll see what it looks like in its current iteration. So this is what we landed with. I'm going to delete this. Is my keyboard not working? Okay, we're gonna save that. So icon block. We'll bring the icon block in and insert the icon. So we have this choose icon. It pops up. These are all the icons that we have available to us. There is a subset. So there was some decisions made around not including all of the icons that come in the WordPress icons package because some of them just didn't make any sense to be used on the front end. So this is the starting point. You can pick, let's say we pick the error here, and then we can set a background color of whatever we want. Let's say we want to make it red, and then we want to make the thing white, and there we go. We can set some width, right? We can actually do border and border radius as well. So we do a border of black. We'll do a little radius on that. So this is basically what we have available to us now. Which I think is pretty cool. Like, I think it's pretty great. Let's see what it looks like in the front end. That's what it looks like in the front end, right? It's very simple for now. So these are just decorative. You can't make them linked. There's no linking functionality in the block itself. There is some talk around how we would do this. I think what might make a lot of sense is, what might be cool is if you had buttons, and then you could add a new button, but instead of it being a button, it would be it would be an icon, right? And then we'd link it, or we could do the icon inside of this button. Not really sure. I was looking at the code for the buttons, and that's going to be a pretty big thing to change, because the way it's built is, if we just look, if we look at the block library, should just do not block directory. I think we should do I think I should do a shortcut to this thing. So if we look at this and we look at the button block, not the buttons, in the edit state, you can see, just bear with me here, I'm going to zoom that in. It is a rich text field somewhere. Rich text. I don't know what that was. Something just bonged. So putting this inside the button would be cool. We'd have to basically have a toggle, or we'd have to have a way of inserting blocks to it, because this is rich text. So that's how we get the typing, do that, right? So that is handled by rich text. I mean, we could, maybe we could. I think what we'd probably want to do is, I don't know how we'd do this. I mean, from a backwards compatibility standpoint, it would be a nightmare, because we have to make sure that these buttons add icon to rich text. Can you do that? I don't think you can't put blocks inside of icon inside of that. Right? I don't think you can. I mean, it is just text. I guess you could just insert the text. Would that work? I don't think that would work. No, because it's markup. It's markup. So, like what you want to do is you'd probably want to have some kind of, there's a function for that. Function for what? Except the latest Gutenberg update program will identifying words in the markup from the markup twitches. I think that's the side conversation that doesn't involve me. That's cool. So I think what you'd probably want to do is you'd want to have some sort of option to insert a block. So maybe it's a variation of this button block, or like an icon button block, you know, or alternatively, we just add, we do it at a different level. Instead of doing it in the button, we do it in the buttons in here, right? And then we add the ability, because I believe this is going to be able to allow let's see, where are we here? That's not where I want to see this. I think buttons, it accepts inner blocks, and so I'm assuming it does inner block props. Yeah. So the button, so template is core button, and then there must be allowed blocks in here. Default block is default block. What's default block? What's that? Oh, okay. Core button. So we could make it so you could insert the icon into the buttons block, but then at that point you would need to have the icon block itself manage linking, which might be the better way of doing it, because then it can just be inserted inside a navigation block. It can do all of that. So I think that may be the approach that we want to do. That's just sort of my idea. But being able to insert this in here has button variations. What is this? Block wraps. So default block, direct insert, template and orientation layout. Okay. So yeah, I think it might just be a case of doing that, and then does button have parent block defined somewhere? Sports. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's what we'd probably do. Put the icon in that way. That would be my first instinct, because I think it becomes more flexible if we put the link on this item and then this item gets inserted inside of this block, right? Because then we're not messing with the rich text, and then we can actually handle, because there's a lot of accessibility concerns or things to take into account. What am I most excited about? Okay, engaging. There's lots of stuff. I don't know. I've been very, 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 very focused on the icon block, so I'm a little bit tunnel vision with that. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming. All the AI stuff is great. I don't know. I think for me, I've just been so focused on the icon block. It's cool because now we have actually an icons API as well. So that's not it. Get out of here. Which will, it's private now, but you can go select, I think it's what, core. I have to look. Look and see what it is. Where I did a data store for it. Look, library source. So, oh, you have to unlock it, but it's get the icons. So it's a private data store. So there is an endpoint though. Which is, so you can there. So if we do something like that, went the wrong level. So we should be able to get, so we have all these icons now. So this is a private API. Didn't the controversial block get added? I don't know. Which one was that? We resurrected the quote block. I believe there was block quote and quote, or one of the ones. I don't know if Kev. I think Kev's being sarcastic about my icon block. But there is, so now there's new. Oh yeah. Kevin's got a new. Hold on, let me see it. There it is.
Oh great!
And the loop.
It's the loop.
The loop. Yeah, so there's this new API that is associated with this, which is it's not public right now. It probably will be in the next release. Yeah. So what was the quote one? Let me see. Oh, not in there. It was docs. Was it docs? I think there was a. I can't remember what it was, but the I'm pretty sure. Oh, who's that guy? That's me. Let's see. Pull quote block. That's what it was. So the pull quote block was reinstated. So it was deprecated, and I have my own private. Well, for automatic, yeah, I do. Oh, like my own? Yeah. It's just something I set up for testing something. There's nothing fancy about it. I can invite you if you'd like. But what's in here? Yeah, this is me. Yeah, I know you do. I know. I'm making sure that we're only looking at the core, wherever the core went, because it looks like it's still been delayed. Yes, I know you're risky. Anyways, Kevin, the pull quote block was brought back. Webhooks and cloud, yeah. I was using it to test an internal AI bot. That's why I created it. Cool, yeah. So that's in there. Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah, there would definitely be. I mean, the amount of the accessibility concerns that for this icon block were pretty, just for me to understand it, because there's like 3 very distinct scenarios, and then having to account for all of those. And if it's inside of an interactive element, then it doesn't get a label. The outer element is supposed to get a label, so it's very complicated. But anywho, what was I gonna talk about here? So track was still acting very funny. Uh-oh, it might be going down again. No, not in the icon itself. So the icons don't contain that. If you look at the SVG, they don't have a title element in there. But there was some talk around doing that, because they are dynamically generated. But they're stored as a string. So we'd need to have that done in that way. So no. So the way the label is working now, I can show you how the label works. It gets applied via the tag processor. Yeah. So what it gets now is if there's no label set, it's decorative, and then if it is, it gets a label applied to it along with the role image. So I think some of these things we can probably make better. I don't think you're supposed to have the role image if it's a decorative element. And so that's sort of where this is getting a little bit complicated, because it's wrapped in a div, because we want the div to be the block level item that wraps that, so it acts like a block. And then we're adding these things. Now, what will actually end up happening in here is most likely adding a link around it. We'll put it inside of a button. Then that button gets the label, and then the item inside of it does not. So there's some, and then we'll have to adjust all of the UI to be like, is this linked? Yes, it's linked. Okay, so now it's wrapped inside of a button or an A tag. I guess we'd probably have to choose that. Yeah, and just sort of like add those required things and all that. What's this? Oh, restart extension. Okay. Cool. Well, there was one thing that I was actually playing around with. So the one issue that we ran into is that when we are dealing with the colors here, this text color doesn't really make a lot of sense. All right, Kev. Thanks, Kev. You're the best, Kev. Kevin! Yeah. So, but we can't really really do much about this because this is a block support. So something that I asked Claude Code to help me with was creating a way of defining these labels inside of block supports, which I think will be really, really powerful. And then the other issue is that you can't set a minimum value. So if we wanted to reset this, it gets reset super small, right? It gets set to basically the default size, which is a little bit janky, which is fine because I had some weird use effect in there that was was forcing it to like 12 pixels I think it was, which isn't really the best user experience. And then you can never actually reset this. So like right now if I click reset, and it's reset, but before what it was doing was it was resetting and then it was being automatically updated back to 12 pixels. So this would say reset again, so it was in this weird loop. So anyways, those are two issues with the block support system that we should probably figure out a way to fix. So on that end, check out try block support labels. So we'll do that. And I don't know what this is going to do, but I just stashed some stuff here. So we're going to stash, apply stash. This would be block support labels. So let's see. Okay. So I have to see some color panel. So the idea here is, so we will do experimental default controls, panel title controls. I don't think I like that. Oh, it's applied inside of colors. Okay, so this would be sort of how we would do it, I think. So let's see what happens if I apply this to the old the icon block there. Claude's hilarious because it adds all this stuff that you don't need and everything. So I'm not going to mess with it too much. But I go into supports this color, and I can go like this, right? Experimental labels. We'll just see what this does. I don't know if it's going to work. No errors yet. It'd be cool if it did though. It'd be super cool. Save this. So let's see. So I grab this, come here. Aha! Oh yeah! So that's cool. So instead of that, so panel button colors. Where's the panel title though? And I don't know if this panel title seems to be working. It's pretty neat. So we'll go icon color. Is that, oh wait a minute. Oh, maybe it hadn't built yet. There, icon, fill color. That's kind of cool. So let's take this out. So I just want to control that. I don't know why this button colors is not, where is that being messed with? Grab this. So this should get background icon. That's kind of cool. So I don't know why that. Let's look and see what sort of code changes there are. Color panel, custom labels, color. Experimental border. So what I asked it to do was, oh, do you have to know the name of it though? Let's go radius, and I'll say icon border radius. Okay, so you have to know what the key is, I guess. Experiment with panel title controls. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I think the example was I just asked it to do this for that. So where is? So, okay, so I think it works. It's not working for the other ones right now. What I don't understand is, okay, so let's go to color and let's open this up. So what is it actually doing here? So where's the panel? Where's the part that actually renders that panel? So control, nope. Color edit. What's the name of the panel? And change panel title. Where does that come from? Get support panel title. Name, color support key, color. Custom labels. All right. Okay, so text icon, that works. Button colors, but it's not being displayed. So why isn't it being displayed? Panel title. Yeah, it is. Hey, Carolina. It is delayed. We're just waiting to see what happens. Did they formally announce that it's going to be like postponed? Or?
It's Carolina.
Oh, we're doing a bug scrub here. You can see the full schedule bug scrub. Oh, we're doing a bug scrub today. Let's see. Notice slight delay bit of what? Latest update comments here. Let's see. What is this? Okay, so there is a delay. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to figure out why this panel thing is not working. Panel title. It should be right here. I don't know why that's not working. I actually don't really care about the panel title. Do I care about the panel title? I don't think I do. It's not even being used. Holy smokes. I don't think it's actually being used. Let's look. Oh, wrapper? Where's the label come from? Color panel gets label. Weird. What's this? Oh, I don't need any of that. Okay. Well, let's ask Claude. Let's ask Claude. Okay. I want to say the panel title is not being displayed for the color. I'm pretty comfortable with WordPress data. What are you looking for? Cross keys, what do you need? Or are you just taking a survey? Can you tell me what you're trying to do? Well, WP subscribe, I think, I haven't used it in a while. The last time I did, it subscribes to changes in the store. So the store is going to just be, it gets triggered anytime something changes. So if you're trying to retrieve entities and deal with a list of entities, you're probably, you're outside of React. Okay, you got to give me the context of what you're doing here. Because you can still retrieve stuff from the data store outside of React. If you want to subscribe to changes in the data store, then yeah, that wp.subscribe will most likely get you what you need to do. The problem, I believe, though, is you don't know what's changed, just that something did change. And it could be as simple as like somebody opened and closed a meta box or moved blocks around. I think all of that stuff subscribes, like changes, does subscribe. I haven't really used that in a while. Let's take a look. New keyboard. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Running a QA thing on the editor, for example, check if all attached images have alt text. Pull an array of all images, image blocks, grab their IDs to get in the record post type attachment. Get in on the images and then pull the alt text. So this is inside the editor. This is what we're doing here, right? So but this is in the editor because you're retrieving. No, you're not getting a block. You're getting. I'm running a QA thing on the editor. For example, check if all attached images have alt text. Pull an array of all image blocks. Yeah, the entity record will get cached. What you want to do is okay, so when you make your, so when you get an entity record, and you should be getting entity records, right? Not a single one. I guess you could do that, yeah. So you're grabbing a list of all the IDs, you're retrieving each ID via get entity record, and then pull the alt text key. So you get all that stuff. It's caching the entity record. So if I add alt text to an image without leaving the editor, it doesn't update the object. So you can, there is a, There is a function that you can run. What is it? I'm trying to remember what it was called. It is basically you want to invalidate. You want to invalidate your resolver. That's what you want to do here. So let's just see. Okay, get entity record. So so there is this invalidate resolution function. So I'm just going to link this. It's kind of an old article, but this is probably what you're going to want to do. Because so get entity records, get entity record. What it does is it retrieves that data and puts it in the data store. The data store being a big JavaScript object. And then once it has it, it doesn't make a server request again. So in order for it to make a server request, you have to invalidate that particular. You have to invalidate the resolver. So basically tell the store that this has not been resolved. And so it needs to it needs to do its round trip to the server and resolve it again. So that's what you're going to want to do. That it's kind of an interesting solution. So you have to pass the name of the store, the name of the function, and then the parameters that you're passing to it. So that's what it's going to be. So it's kind of an old, that post I linked is a bit older, but it will sort of get you there. Yeah. I used this in a client project when I had a block that allowed you to upload PDF files. And so what we would do is we would retrieve all the attachments, but and then they would be listed, and then after you updated, after you dropped the PDF onto the block and it was uploaded, we had to invalidate the resolver so we'd get the new list of information. Otherwise, the new stuff wouldn't show up in the block. It would be saved and everything, but it wouldn't be in the block. So that sounds like what you're going to want to do there. And I love the shade that the LUP is throwing at me about my inability to type with this stupid microphone in my face. Okay, so what's going on here? Yeah, let's see. Okay. Border panels already solved. All right, let's see. Use border panel label. Sure. This is fun because I'm giving it a problem and just letting it run. You'll notice in my advanced query loop repository, I have a lot more tests and playground end-to-end tests and unit tests and stuff because Claude is just like generating it all for me, which is super awesome. Takes all the busy work out, like of having to generate content and do all that. It's fantastic. All right, what is this? Sure. We're just gonna let it do its thing. This is still building. Okay, how are we doing here? Come on now. Both are clear. Oh. Wow. Cool. One question was like the line on cache busting biting me in the ass down the line. Cache busting in the sense of invalidating the resolution, the resolver. Is that what you mean? Like the thing that we were just talking about? It shouldn't be a problem. All it does is just refresh the retrieval from the server. So because like I'm assuming you're doing this in a place like inside a logged in state, like you're in an admin somewhere, right? Like I'm assuming that's where you're doing this, not on the front end or anything. I would say you don't really have a problem. I would put some guardrails around it. Like don't just keep resolving all the stuff all the time, right? Do it when you need it. So when you make a change, like the example that I was just talking about. So I had a block where you could drag and drop PDFs. So you drop the PDF on there. After it uploaded, there was like an upload finish callback. In that callback, I invalidated the resolver, which caused the store to re-query, and it just did that. So don't just do it all the time. I'll build a button that says refresh the query or something along those lines. Like I would put some guardrails around it that way, because you don't want to make a ton of, like, you don't want to have to hit the server all the time if you don't need to. But because it's like one person using it and it's in the admin, and I'm assuming it's a tool that not everyone's going to be using, you're probably going to be fine. All it's really doing behind the scenes is populating a JavaScript object with a bunch of information. It's just retrieving data. Like if we were in PHP and we didn't have like object caching, you'd be making those same queries all the time anyways, right? So I don't think you need to worry about it too much. That said, just make sure you're not doing 100 queries all the time, right? Like don't put it inside of a for loop. Like, oh, that's the other thing. So like you're gonna have a list of attachment IDs. Don't invalidate it after every call. Invalidate it, like if you're going to loop through them all and get all the data and do a thing, after, you probably want to you might, that's a good question. Because you have two queries. Well, you have a number of queries. You have the query to get all the IDs. You'll probably never need to resolve that, because unless you're adding new attachments as part of this, it's going to be the same list. If you're changing something on the attachment itself, like the attachment post type itself, and then you need to work with that immediately, you'll probably want to make the change and then invalidate it. So the next time you retrieve it, you'll get the updated info. This is in the weeds, so like I'll have to I have to see what you're doing to do it, right? You can run a subscriber that tracks the image number of image blocks. Yeah. Well, but just to be clear though, it's not blocks. Like, are you doing this based on the number of blocks that are in the post being edited? Or are you retrieving all of the post types that are attachments? Because image blocks don't necessarily, so you're getting all the image blocks on the page. Okay, so you should be able to get access to the image ID that way, and then not using core image blocks. So it's the custom block that stores a attachment ID, I'm assuming, right? I mean, there's a number of ways that you can do this. Basically, yes, okay. So then you're going to get all those blocks. You're going to loop through the attributes for each one of those blocks, retrieve the ID. Then based on each of those ID, you're going to retrieve the actual attachment post that is connected to that image. And then add the alt text to the image post, or add the alt text to something. And then where are you wanting the alt text to display? You want it to display inside the block? Okay. So, and what does verify mean? That it exists and it's, well, for the sake of this conversation, just it exists and there is some text in there. Right, so you want to make sure that it has alt text. That it exists. Okay. Okay, and then so you're going to get your list of blocks. You're going to retrieve the entity, the attachment ID for each one of those. You're going to check to make sure that the post has it's the post meta, I'm assuming, for the alt text. Right? Is it stored in post meta? I can't remember. Yep. It's the markup is separate. So what happens if it's not there? So I insert one of your blocks, the custom block. I make reference to an attachment ID somehow, however that works. And then this tool checks, and there's no alt text on that post on that post, that attachment. What happens then? I'm just wondering if there's a simpler way of doing this, that you could have each block check itself. It's hooked into a checklist that updates itself in post state. It won't let you set it depending if the checklist isn't all green. Okay. Okay. I'm still not entirely clear on what you're trying to do. Because if you just want to make sure that something, okay, so you could use use entity prop to retrieve the post meta for that post ID, and then check to see if that post meta is there. I'm pretty sure attachments store their alt text in post meta. Is that accurate? I can't remember. Does anyone know off the top of their head? I'm assuming it's the only place you can store it. And so you could retrieve the post meta. Excuse me. You could retrieve that post meta inside your block, and that block you could just use entity props and get meta, right? And then you'll have a list of all the meta, and you can see if the alt text is there. If it is there, cool. If it's not there, you can actually update it as well inside that block and have it update that meta, and then when they hit save, it'll update that meta for you. No, you're not monopolizing my time. I'm just trying to understand what you're doing. It feels like, and this is, I mean this with love and respect because I don't know what you're building. It feels like it's more complicated than it needs to be, but I don't think I fully understand what you're trying to do. It feels like you're fighting with a plugin. Like, that's what it seems like to me. That is doing some kind of restricting of post updates, right? Or being able to change the status or the post state, the post status, I guess is what it is, and won't let you save depending if the checklist isn't all green. So you're trying to make sure that the stuff is all green, right? Now, is this plugin, what plugin is this? Can you link the plugin? Because I have code that you can have that's a pre-published checklist that you can edit. It is. It's plugin combat and trying to knit stuff together. I'm also using the ACF block, so that doesn't save to post meta. There's a lot of pieces here. ACF. So what? Well, isn't advanced custom fields all post meta? Oh, it's part of a published press, so I could move to my own program tomorrow. I would, but it's a part of okay. Okay, so I think I need to understand the specifics of this particular situation. But I think what you can do in your custom block, retrieve, use post meta, use that thing that I just said. What was it? Use entity props. It's a hook. Oh, but you're outside of React, right? Okay, so you're going to want to do it a different way. If you're not in React, you can't use the hooks. So come on, keyboard. So there's going to be I think there's another thing that you can do here. What is it? You can retrieve it in a slightly different way using That's be post meta REST API. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Your post meta has to be exposed to the REST API. So if your plus I solve this problem, I can use the same solution to build basically every quality check that the client wants. Yeah. So the thing that you're going to want to be doing is in ACF, make sure your fields are all exposed to the REST API, and then you'll be able to retrieve that inside the block editor. Okay. So you can do that. That is important in that case. And then if you're in the block editor, you were saying it's outside of React. So why is it outside of React if you're inside the block editor? Because I think maybe are you queuing a file and it's just outside of React? Is that the problem? Because there's a way that you can do that by hijacking the slot fill system, where you can classic. Are you in? Yeah. Are you in Classic Press? Are you? Lots of questions for you. Lots of questions. Let me. First of all, the hooks into existing plugin class framework by extending their class, so you have to stick it all in a JS file in the plugin. Well, okay, so what you can do, you might be okay. How does it check to know if the block has got a? So I'm assuming what's happening here is the alt text is triggering it's failing the checklist. That's what we're talking about. I'm assuming, right? That the lack of an alt text makes it not green, so you can't put it into pending. So if that's the case, you don't have to do this inside their framework. You could do this in the block itself. Have the block check itself to make sure that there is indeed a alt text, and even have it update the alt text for you. And then you can do that in the block itself. Use entity props, and then have it update that. And if it is stored in ACF, you can still retrieve the stuff from ACF. You have to do a bit more work to write it back to ACF, but this is a problem that we solved on stream here a little while ago, and it's a little bit old, so I think we did figure out another way of doing that. No, I have to find it. That's the thing. We're gonna go. I'm just gonna look for ACF. ACF data bindings. So what is this? Okay. Set value. So okay, this is a bit advanced, but you can still retrieve. Oh, this is very old. I have to update this. So to get the value. The block for the stupid checklist plugin to sniff. I'm all for moving code out of their rig. So I think you can. I don't want to send you down the wrong path because I don't really fully understand all the nuance here. But I think what you're going to want to be doing is display meta. Is this it? Let's see. Okay, so you can take this use entity prop and you can retrieve the meta for it. Okay, if it's ACF meta, it needs to be exposed to the REST API inside of ACF, and this works the same for SCF too. So you can still get it. The thing about ACF is it exposes its post meta in the REST API response in a different place. It exposes it in an ACF property. So that's how you can get that stuff back. Now, writing back to it is definitely a little bit more complicated. It is possible. You will have to do something a little bit different. You will have to make a REST API call like this. I'm just gonna send you this file. Now, this is a little bit old. I don't know if Liam has been on the stream. Okay, cool. So there you go. So this is what this is going to do. Is this is going to give you the post meta for ACF, but it needs to be exposed to the REST API. That I cannot state that enough. If you don't go into your settings and check that box, it will not work. It will not show up in this response. So you could do that, and then what you can actually do is you could do something like this pre-published checklist. I did something where let's see, category. No. I'm trying to remember where I did this. In here? No. Is there finished? Do I have a finished one? Final plugin. This is quite old, but one thing that you can do is you could did I do this in here? I can't remember. Oh, I have another example. Use the one from Block Developer Cookbook. There is a pre-published checklist in here, and one thing that it does do is, where the heck is it? Was it word counter? Oh, you could use editorial notes too. Basically, where I'm going with this is you want to add some sort of filter. So you'll probably want to add something along these lines in here in step 5. Wait, do I have an anchor here? Let's look. Is there an anchor? I do. So I just do that. So you could take a look at something like that, and all this is going to do it's just going to wrap a class around it, and to indicate that there's something up with that block, and you can have it do whatever you want to do. So you'll probably want to add something along those lines, and I think yeah, so you want to do that. But the other thing you're welcome to take a look at this pre-published checklist, which has got some stuff in there. It's built in the slot fill system. So anyways, I think that'll get you in the right direction. And just reach out to me on Discord or Slack or whatever if you want me to take a look at something. I'm happy to. But yeah, I think this doesn't need to be as complicated, because you really just only need to, like, each block only needs to care about itself. And if you have, when a block gets deleted, it won't matter anymore. When it gets inserted, you'll want to check to make sure, like you'll just want to make sure that there's a attachment ID associated with it, and then do your thing. The cool thing is, where'd that go? No, this. You can actually pass the post type, and you can pass the post ID. So you will get that from your block, and you can just hard code this. So it's basically you made a wise choice, my friend. There you go. Who's that? Cross Keys. Thanks for the sub. You're a good guy. Good guy. Yeah. So you're going to pass post type because that is the entity type, and then you're going to pass attachment because that is the type of entity that it is, which is a weird way of explaining this. Then that is the meta piece that you want, and this is the post ID that you want to pass to it. So these are all generic, and this will be the actual attachment ID, and that should work. I'm assuming attachments are exposed to the REST API, then you should be good to go. And then, oh wait, is the meta in the alt is probably going to be the alt will be stored somewhere else, I think, right? you should make a paid system where people could donate for code reviews. You know what, I'll do code reviews for free. It's stored on the entity, but is it stored in Meta or is it stored on Meta or is it stored in ACF? I'm assuming Meta, because in that case you'll want to access the Meta item. So this is like pretty straight. Like this is just stuff that is on the response. So you can actually retrieve anything off of that. So if you want to get the title, you can get that, right? So you just have to make sure that you're accessing it in the right part of the response, and you can look at that just by going in like WP JSON. Right, and then going to post. Where's post? Post. Oh, here. Comment? No. Was it like attachment? Of course, I have to look at the thing. I don't know what it is. So attach. Media. Oh, it's probably media. Right, and you would just do type, I guess. Whatever the thing in there is. So, but anyway, so if we were to just go, so I'm gonna grab a generic one here. And just, oh my God, come on now. Points. So we do comments, block patterns, all these icons, yay! Like if we were just to do posts, right? Then we can grab post 6. So this is basically what you're going to be not that. So the entity prop that you're going to be dealing with is these things. So you could get GUID, you could pull author, you can pull meta. So when you pull meta, you'll get this object, you get the category. So that's what this use entity prop does. It just pulls something off of the response for that particular ID. So if you had ACF in here, which you would if you had ACF enabled on, and you would have the REST fields, the fields exposed to the REST API, you will have an ACF field in here as well. But you can get access to content, you can get access to all this stuff. Writing back to it is a completely different story, but if you don't need to do that, then that's not an issue. But yeah, so that's all this does. So when you call, where is it? This, use entity prop, you're just telling it which one of those properties from the REST response you want to retrieve. So just be aware of where the thing is that you're looking for, and that's it. And the access down here. It's not meta because of the way I identify these little blocks, but basically giving you IDs. If you want to see a block to attach the post one, you have to add the post with true and block JSON. Then you can only have one of that block per post. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. I think attachment, like the alt text in an attachment, like if I were to go into the admin, I don't think I have any media in here. Yeah, I do. So in here, like this is this alt text. This is the alt text. We can take a look right now. Saved. So this is, what is this? Then I can go. What was that, 22? Oh, right, that's media. I think it's media. There it is. So there's media. Talk to every. Okay, so this is the slug. Author. So meta. Oh, it's not stored in there. Alt text. Okay, so it's going to be at its own top level thing. So you're going to just pass alt text. You'll just ask for the alt text directly. Well, yeah. So you can call this in here. So this becomes alt text as opposed to ACF, or alt text as opposed to that. So that's what you'll call. But you need to have the post ID that needs to be exposed to the REST API, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Well, let me know if it doesn't work or you're running into problems with it, and I'd be happy to take a look. And to add to Lup's got a decent idea here. Let's see, where's the spotlight message? Should make a paid system where people could donate for code reviews. I would do code reviews if people donated to not to me because I get paid to do this, but if we set up like a donation so we could send someone to WordCamp or something along those lines, I'd be down with that for sure. That would be very cool. I'd have to make sure that there's no conflict of interest for me at work, but if I'm not getting the money or I'm not managing the money, maybe it's just a donation to some of the scholarship funds, which would be great. And it could be any amount. And I'd be cool with that. I'd be very cool with that. Yeah. Sounds like a neat idea. Yeah. Oh, Ecom Lab 05 from YouTube says hi. Hello from YouTube. We're over here on Twitch if you want to come hang out with us. You know what's the most terrifying thing in the world for a person like me that is like all surrounded by technical crap and stuff is when you find a random screw on your desk. You don't know where it came from. You know? You don't know where it came from. I mean, if I ever were to like work on my own and be self-employed, then yeah, I'm charging y'all for everything. But until that day, I'm happy to coordinate donations for scholarships and stuff like that. I'm going to ask around at work and see what that is. Ryan reviews, then Ryan rewards. Oh, well, that's kind of the concept behind Talk Debbie to me is like, show me the thing that you're building. Let me play with, like show me how to use it. And I'll tell you what I think. But maybe the review is like, I'm just reviewing it on my own and the person's not in the room. Because I'll be a lot more honest, maybe. And maybe more of a dick. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, cool. Well, right. What was I working? Oh, wait. Let's check and see how we're doing with, let's see if we are doing this thing. Are we doing this thing? What's going on? Okay. So Wanma is actually doing a bug scrub right now. So if you're interested in the last bug scrub before 7.0 beta, yeah, that'll be cool. Well, maybe there's a thing, Troy. That's a really great idea. Maybe there's a thing where we can have. So the thing is, I don't want to. Yeah, well, Carolina, you absolutely should. You absolutely should. I mean, want and need are two different things, you know. Which site? Drop your site. Is it the full site editing one? Because I would pay for it. I think that. I mean, I think that would be. I think you deserve it. You know. That's what I think. Yeah. Well, I'll drop the link in here so people know what it is. I'm sure they all know, but just drop it in anyways. As long as it doesn't say Flappy Bird in the URL, I'll click on it. Someone's saying in the YouTube how to test Beta 1 now. Beta 1 has not been released yet. It's been delayed slightly. There's a couple of things that have been that have delayed it there. So I think it might be coming out today, but hopefully. So if you have not seen Carolina's site at fullsiteediting.com, go there right now and learn. And then it is super useful. It's amazing. It is one of the first resources that I was aware of that started us down the road of working with the block developer, or sorry, the block editor and full site editing and all that stuff. And so go check it out. Go check it out. Absolutely. Yes, Carolina, you should absolutely be charging for access to these courses. That's my opinion. That's my opinion, because it is such a valuable resource. And yeah, it's the theme generator. Come on now. Could monetize this sucker too. Maybe people have an account and they get one free one a month, or they get whatever. But I think everyone go and bookmark this. This is a phenomenal resource. There's no game to test there. Yeah. Didn't I do a Flappy Bird clone? Oh no, I didn't do the Flappy Bird clone yet, did I? I was going to, and then okay. So next stream is the Flappy Bird clone. I think it's the one that we're gonna do. I've kind of lost the reference back to the thing, but yeah, anyhow. Yeah. Icon block. Well, now that the icon block's been merged, and I will have some more time, so I think it'll be like next stream will be like a horror movie. Yeah. So I might just see if Claude can one shot it. That's what I think I might do. I might just have Claude Code try to one shot a Flappy Bird, and then we'll just tweak it and play with it and see what happens. And then I'll release it, and then I will create a bot that jumps into everybody's stream and links it. That's what I'll do. Probably everything except that first one. Yeah, Troy, you're so good. Troy has, yeah, it's gonna be cool. There's a game coming, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's gonna be fun. And that's going to be on Talk Dev to me on March 12th, which if someone gets me their stupid headshot, I can schedule that in the YouTubes and everything, and people can see it. Claude one shot of it. Oh no, yeah. Well, I kind of did one shot it already. It didn't look very good. That was the thing that I didn't like about it. But I would like to just to one shot it and see what we can do. It might also be actually, you know what might be fun? We'll one shot it in Claude, and then we'll use Telex to do the same thing and see what happens, and see what the differences are. Miles, what's Miles? Have I heard of Miles? I don't think I've heard of Miles. If you have a link, drop it. Yeah, I know. Claude's really fun. Oh, speaking of, if you're using Code, you should install the WordPress skills, the AI skills, because it is super duper helpful. This Troy, okay, coming soon. Who made this? That's very cool. I mean, it looks really nice. It looks really nice. I've been using ara.build recently for generating some stuff. It's been pretty good. So is there a company behind this, Troy, or like, do we know much about this? I'm assuming Miles is just the name of the AI bot, but custom blocks plugin in production ready code. Describe what you want, and Miles makes it real. Nick Hamzy and myself have sites running these themes. Huh. I feel like I should know about this, or know more about this. Well, I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna get early access, and I guess I just have to put my email in. Oops. If I can type and get early access. Oh, Andy Peatling. Okay, yeah. That's cool. Andy used to work at Automatic. That's very neat. Cool. This is great. So, yeah. Troy, I have an idea for your game. I have an idea, and it could be AI based, because still have the awesome mode made wpvibe.ai. What's this? There's gonna be. Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that little thing. Very cool. I kind of like this thing. I like this thing. It's very neat. It's very What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Miles. Yeah. There's all kinds of things in the works. What do you have backstage access to? Oh, Vibe or whatever. Cool. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with James. That guy operates at the speed of light. It's ridiculous how much he can do. Well, it doesn't look like 7.0, the beta, is going out yet. I think Track is still acting up. Yeah, I can't design to save my life either, and so that's why our build and these tools are so good. Because here's the thing, like I'm not like a designer at all. So these tools do all that work for me, and then I can do the thing that I do is write code, which is fantastic. Which is, oh no, not that. I have a project in mind for Aura that I built out in Aura Build, and what is it? It's this idea of a badge archive for WordCamps. So like, cause, well, you can't see it now, but behind my green screen, I have all of my lanyards from all the WordCamps. And so I had this idea of like, well, what if it was like a Pokemon thing where you create an account and upload pictures of all your badges? I don't know if that's been done anywhere. But so I asked it just to create this for me, and it did a pretty good job. So this would be like, a WordCamp for a specific WordCamp, and you have all the different badges and everything. I don't know. I think that's kind of fun. But like for me to design this, are you kidding? There is no way I would be able to do this. But yeah. What else I got? I got this idea for a plugin landing page, right? Little AQL action here. So again, crappy designer, me, horrible. Just gives the AI some direction and it does its thing, and it's great. And you can actually export this to Figma and do all kinds of cool stuff with it. So yeah, the API client, WP API client, it needs to be ready though. Like, well, it's not that it's not ready, but it needs to be right. I sort of agree with Matt's comment on like, it's great, but it's not like in a place where all the users can really connect things to it. So I kind of get both sides of it. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to change so many things about WordPress, but if it's one of those things, if it's not kind of done in the right way when it's released, then it'll be a problem, That's like, I had the same conversations around the icon block, and like, there was a lot of conversation around the API, which I wasn't really involved in. About why is it not exposed, and like Fabian from Fueled/Tenop, I agree that part for sure. It's an API, but it's also enabling WordPress to do some cool things. So I think Matt's point is that it's not just for devs. It'd be cool if there was sort of like, oh yeah, you want to connect to all your things. Here's how you do it, and so I kind of understand what he's saying. I see both sides of it. I mean, for people that want to build on it, they want to get it out as soon as possible. But for those building on it, though, you can also just like install the package directly, right? And do it that way. But I forget what I was saying now. But whatever. I was saying something. It probably didn't matter. Oh yeah. So the API. So there was some conversation around like why is it private? Why can we not register our own icons, which would be really big and helpful for agencies, and it's because we just weren't quite there yet. And you have to make sure that when you release a thing that it is ready enough to be useful and not raw enough to be a problem moving forward. Because once it's been released, it's there, and you have to keep it. You have to maintain it. Backwards compatibility is an issue, so we have to make sure that it's ready. And I agree with that. That's why like a lot of these things, the first iteration is kind of like a very vanilla, very like easy sauce version of what it is. Like the amount of features that we stripped out of the icon block to get it in were massive. Like, rotation controls, flipping, all this sort of stuff. We pulled all that out, right? I'm not disagreeing with you, Dilep, that it's that I don't think it's ready. I think it's more the like Matt's comment was more about the user. Like those let me show the comment actually right here. So let's just read it. So I'm a no, but not for the reasons you might think. Let's think about this from a user perspective. WordPress has had a place for 20 years where people had already been copying and pasting API keys. Alongside Hello Dolly, the only plugin we include is in the default download. I want us to think bigger and really have something we can tell a story for 7.0. The headline feature should be that WordPress now has a connector setting page when you visit settings connectors. There could be OAuth flows and all of that stuff. So what he's advocating for is something along these lines, and I think this does make sense from a user standpoint, right? Because if we want to connect things, if we want to connect our site, what this means is like I've connected the site and now your plugin can access that, right? I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Where is that comment? Where's your comment? Okay. WordPress needs this feature in core, and delaying this also delays the progress of other AI features. Alt generator, featured image generator, cool. Assuming these new features would use the same SDK. Both core and plugin devs need a common ground, official SDK, for dealing with AI features. And this is not shipped in core. I'm pretty sure every developer will create their own AI. I don't necessarily agree with this. I don't think you're entirely wrong. I know a lot of people's first instincts is to roll their own. But this proposal is not, this API is available. You can use this API. It's just not bundled in core. So like to your point here of like rolling your own, that's a problem. That is going to be a problem. For sure. Maybe some have this UI, maybe some won't, but the real issue will be that users will have to sign into 10 different plugin dashboards to add the same key here. And yeah, exactly. So I think, so what Matt is trying to address with that, he's trying to address that issue by having a common connectors page. And then you can do whatever you want with that stuff. You would be against making a canonical plugin? This feels like there wouldn't be in Gutenberg. Oh yeah, for sure. But the thing is, like, you install the API with Composer and you import the package, in npm, and then you just transition to the core one. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. Yeah. No, you make completely valid points. I'm not. I don't disagree with them, really. I think that if people are developing in a way where they're thinking like future-proof, then they should be leveraging the APIs the way they are now. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, but this is the kind of feedback that they're looking for, right? This is a request for comments. Like, it's literally like, give me, we want to know. So all this will be taken into account. Now, I mean, some people have a bit more weight than others in the community. Specifically, Matt has a fair amount of pull, and so he is he's the project lead forever. Anyways, but yeah, everything you're saying is not like, I'm not saying you're wrong. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, so hopefully this does get in. Now, Matt does say up here that if we need to push, that's fine. This is an important moment for us and a milestone release. So I think it's a big deal, right? So Matt recognizes that, like, this is a big part of 7.0. So if we have to push the beta to allow this to get into there in a way that makes sense for users and developers, then I think that's a good thing. It's not a secret that there's going to be a meeting about 7.0 tonight. Is that that was announced on Make, right? Wasn't it? Was it announced here? Yeah, here. Right? This is, yeah. So this is the product meeting. I think this is what you're talking about there, Carolina. So there's this meeting. It's at It'll be in 3 hours, roughly 3 hours. Yeah. So if you're interested, go and take a look. I don't know if this is open to like, I don't know if this is a presentation or if this is like open to chatting, but yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for hanging out and chatting with us. I'm going to actually drop off as well. It's just afternoon. So thanks everyone for hanging out, and Cross Keys, let me know how all that goes for you. And Carolina, start charging for all the things because it's worth every single penny. So at least if I was happy with adding Markdown to the car. The meeting is open. I don't know. Sorry, Paul. I'm not sure what you're saying when you say something simpler is happy with adding Markdown to the core. Oh yeah, Markdown to the core. Oh, drop your YouTube channel if you've got one. See you in a few weeks there, Alpwit's Original. I'm excited. I'm going to learn a little Spanish. I'm going to try. All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with me today. And hopefully we'll get a 7.0 beta released in the next couple of days. All right. If I don't talk to you, have a great weekend. I'll see you all next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.